Hey there folks, Rel here. Today we're going to be giving you a quick crash course in flanking as an individual and from a territorial perspective in less than 3 minutes. And if you're wondering why we're going to be talking about flanking, it's because that it simply isn't done enough. The average player is usually sitting stationary, firing shots at whatever they see, while the more advanced players are the ones taking control of the battle and winning them. Flanking is essentially the act of attacking from an angle that the enemy does not expect. And this applies to practically all shooters, whether it's Quake, Ghost Recon, Call of Duty, or PlanetSide 2. It even applies to other games like Risk or Metal Gear. So let's start first from a large-scale perspective, and then we'll narrow our focus as we go along. In PlanetSide 2, the bases are adjoined by a lattice system, and the connections between each base determine which you can attack and which you have to defend. And as I spawn, I notice that we're pinned down here. The enemy could easily come around the corner and take us all out if they mustered up enough courage. But right now, we're going to capitalize on the distraction it's causing. The majority of enemy forces are here and here. They're focused on people that keep poking their heads out here and here. So very little attention is being paid to this small southern outpost, which is what we're going to capture. That allows us to take a foothold from which we can spawn more players, but also gives us access to the back of the complex, and more or less we can make it in uncontested, at least while the enemy is busy shooting at the cannon fodder. If we shrink things down a bit and look at a smaller battle, the lines are pretty clear drawn here between the good guys and the bad guys. It's a smaller standoff that would no doubt be crushed eventually, given that the defending forces usually have the upper hand in a situation like this. But we're going to do some flanking of our own and thin the herd out very quickly. So I'm going to head up to the northeast and then cut back to the southwest once I feel that it's safe. Generally, if the enemy thinks that they're in a safe spot out of harm's way, then you've probably reached as far as you need to go to flank safely. And by that I mean you'll notice 3 prowlers lined up on this ridge according to the minimap, and I can't see them personally, but they're anchored in formation, meaning that they feel safe and out of harm's way. You can probably bet that you, as a person who is flanking, do not need to venture too far past this point. And because of that, I'm now ready to cut back through the enemy lines, capitalizing on the big distraction, which is the back and forth battle that's going on at the hill's crest. And as I go through, I'm prioritizing whoever I feel is the biggest threat to me. At the end of it all, I rack up a handful of kills, which makes it a lot easier for allied forces directly opposing the enemy to come through and clean them up. If you found this video interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about the channel. Thanks very much, folks. We're all signing off.